Something that I was thinking about is the role of boredom in all of this, because I also feel like that's resulting in or the lack of boredom now with young people, now that everything is so stimulating and entertaining just by sitting in your room, is leading to isolation. Because I feel like before there was all this stimulation and TV shows and video games and social media, like if you were bored in your room, you would just probably just go to your friend's house. Like that was like the only
Yeah.
other thing you could do.
That's absolutely right. And so the world is so entertaining now that we don't need connection to entertain us. And so I asked a friend of mine who's an anthropologist who works with the Ache in Paraguay. And I was like, do the Ache ever get bored? You know, no TVs, no screens, no technology, no electricity, right? And he says, well, look, they don't have a word for boredom, so it's not in their vocabulary. And they, they, they sit through hanging out in ways that seem crazy boring to me, you know, used to this life in Los Angeles is very fast paced. But it is the case that there'll be in one group of people chatting for a while, and then if they're not saying anything or people aren't saying to them, they might get up and move to another group of people and chat for a while. And so the answer really is, first of all, their tolerance for boredom is much higher than ours because they don't have the constant stimulation that we have. And it's much more like life was like when I was a kid in the 60s, right? No, not all this constant stimulation. But also the only way to crack that nut, the only way to get less bored is to find a different social group, to socialize with people. And so yes, absolutely. When I was a kid, it was boring immediately if I was by myself. There was functionally nothing you could do. Daytime TV was crazy boring. And so all the kids always got together with each other and did whatever games and fun things they could do. Now, those admittedly were also boring by today's standards. Like we played a ton of Monopoly, which if you think about it, it's just this board game where you go around and around and around and basically it's luck. But what was fun about it was, you know, with each other, right? We're just having a good time chatting and this game is kind of a vehicle for that. And unfortunately now, because you can entertain yourself in so many ways by yourself, we default to do that, and it's not good for us. It's not what we evolved to do.